How you doing? Scotty Bear back with another video. This video is a story that I've been waiting to tell. I think this is everybody's story. I think if you are maybe above the age of 30 years old, I'm just gonna put that number there. You have had some questionable, maybe even negative experience with the police. I don't buy totally into the, like some of the riots and things that you've seen, and some of the, like Rodney King and stuff like that. I, myself is, I am personally very anti-establishment. Not anti-police per se, but I am under, kind of feeling that, they're there to serve and protect. And I think the world is better with great cops ready to help you. And I think this is one of those situations that I think most people find themselves in and would like to have the resources of O.J. Simpson and be able to have a trial. And let's see where something like this would take you. And that's this story. I was falsely arrested in Las Vegas for a crime that they couldn't even closely associate me with, throw me in jail, and then I took it all the way to trial to see what would happen. I hope I can tell this story well. Basically what happened was one day they came knocking at my door. Things escalate quickly. More, and then shortly after I was in handcuffs. I wanted to avoid all the ranting and stuff and tell you more closely the story. And a short time later I was in handcuffs and I was being accused of robbing the mailroom. And basically what happened was I remained silent. I told them to get a search warrant to search the property. And basically from there, I think this is what everybody should do, right? And of course, as you well know, the cops start going off on, oh, innocent guys don't need, search warrants, have nothing to hide. And, that's, again, unfortunate, because you know what? I think as Americans, these are our rights, and we definitely have the right to these things. And again, not really to take the rant approach. They filed for a search warrant. They got a search warrant under very suspect situation, and we'll kind of go into that a little bit. It is a big story. The news media was there. They even did a stupid criminal segment about me, a guy named Ben DC. And basically the real news story was how they have the wrong guy. And actually, we maybe made a mistake at not doing this properly in our regards, and they made a mistake on their side, maybe not investigating well, even though that CSI Las Vegas, just like the just like the fucking TV show, right, was there taking fingerprints and shit, instead of lining me up on the camera that they had in front of them and comparing me to me in the video. I think there's a huge I'm very tall, if you know me. Basically, I think the guy in the video is rather short. And basically, I think they could have placed me in some of the same positions and been able to eliminate me quite quickly. But no, that's not what happened. Actually, they did get a search warrant. They did search my house. They were looking for mail. They didn't really find any mail from the complex. I didn't really say they didn't any, but we had some of our ex-landlord's mail that happened to get mixed in with our mail, so they thought that was interesting. And I don't forget, I actually don't remember exactly what else, but we didn't have anybody's real mail. But I had also, office equipment from, my little makeshift business or whatever. And basically, I did what I feel like most people want to do in this situation, and that was take it all the way to court to see what would happen. And that's what I did. And it cost me financially. It cost me personally. I'll go into that too, hopefully. And it cost maybe, partner, my wife, and her son a little bit too. But anyway, kind of keep the story moving along. And basically, I was thrown in jail and I was booked, and I had to fight felony charges, which they were dismissed because they said there was pretty good evidence that maybe I was not the guy, even though the officers were quite insistent that maybe I was the guy, including maybe even the homeowner association also felt like strongly that I was the guy. So went to jail, got to sit in there a few days, but I was acquitted. It was kind of a time of year like this, a very hard time of year. We were also evicted from our property, and so we went through quite an ordeal. But I mean, it was mostly okay. I mean, we don't do too bad in general. So, so it was hard, but not impassable. And we finally got through it, and basically decided I was going to sue these people for what they did, because again, I feel like most of us are in situations where you should be able to call in to question exactly what a cop has done to you. I mean, it's freaking bullshit. So there should be more accountability. I don't care who you are. I don't care exactly these circumstances. It may be, I mean, I've had several. I was pulled over in Oregon. It was 2 a.m. I could have been like, get a search warrant. And I can tell you this, I should have. But under the exact situation, I basically decided to go, all right, search the car so I could leave. I mean, I wasn't hiding anything. In the same situation, that's what happened. I had nothing to hide, but it was, they were at the wrong house. They didn't have me on any mail robbery. And actually, it was just a tremendous failure that the CSI, didn't even do any real investigation. I mean, how ridiculous that was. Hi, how are you? Basically, so moving the story along, basically from there, became a long period where we did find an attorney to sue the police. He was a guy that specialized in suing the police. And basically from there, went a long trial process. The homeowners association settled out. I mean, this was what's interesting is a buddy of mine interjected, who's an attorney. He says lawsuits generally end with both sides upset with the result. And I think this was what could be described as this. We probably got compensated for what we were in, and we probably broke very close to even. Wasn't in some profitable situation, that's for sure. Actually, if anything, it's actually very much a shame that citizens have to go through this. Like I said, there should be more accountability to police officers. I believe that there's a lot of bad police, and I think it hurts good police, because I do know that there's good police. The outcome was pretty much, I wrote a book about it. And I don't really want to plug the book as much as I will tell you about writing the book. Their attorney said, you need to start documenting what exactly happened carefully, and start putting it down. And I figured it was one of those situations like, O.J. Simpson, Johnny Cochran. I mean, basically, I was like, shit, I'm gonna write a book about this, about what happens, because surely this is gonna be so goddamn crazy that that no one's gonna fucking believe it, and it should be a book. So I started writing the book. The book took me, I believe, nearly from the date of arrest, very close to 10 years to write. Not because it was some big story, but it was certainly hard to put back in words. Actually, I found it very difficult to even watch the videos, which was, again, kind of one of those things I want to recount back to you. That was one of the mistakes that I made in the case, because I should have been on that video, because there was a bit of a moment in the trial where there's a guy who's a security expert, believe it or not, uncovered something in the video, which, again, you could read the book if you want to, that hurt us in the end. And actually, we should have caught it. And it wasn't one of those, things, but actually, it came down to it where I believe that we were just not prepared in the way we should have been. And we maybe could have won. And I will say this, too, also as a part of the book, which is, again, one of those things where you're going to have to buy it to read it. But it was, we were such a favor to win that we went to the Ninth Circuit. We Cannonball Run a trip to the Ninth Circuit, me and the attorney. The officers, the Las Vegas police officers, were found incompetent to their job. So that's what we were dealing with. And basically, if this would have happened in California, we probably would have been gabillionaires. But Las Vegas is yet a different mood, very much a different mood for the people involved, very much a different mood for trials, very much a different mood for juries. And that may be what happened to us more than anything. Again, I don't want to spoil the book. I just want to bring attention on what is really hot. Police involvement with society. I personally don't feel like cops should even carry guns. If you go to many other countries, officers don't even carry guns, only more high-ranking officials and military. And I feel like you get a much softer, nicer police at that point, because no one's going to shoot unarmed police. I mean, that is just never going to happen. So cops don't need to be armed, and I think that we need to go back to more of a serve and kind of protect mentality. Again, cops' job is rough, but maybe we classify more like military. And when the guy goes in with a gun at 7-Eleven, you got to send in the military. So instead of these guys street walking police. Anyway, that's my video. I will link the book in the description, and basically, if you want to buy it, all the proceeds go to me. And actually, we lost our ass. It hurt real bad. The justice system is not a great place to be. I will say that. Again, I don't want to really rant about it, because I think everybody knows it. And more citizens should be protected. It should lean more towards the citizen and less in the cop favor. I did learn that in this, there was a moment where it felt really good to write about it, hence the book. And, it feels good to tell about, but it's a difficult story to tell in one breath, as you see from this video. I appreciate you watching. Have a good day.